Well, hello, how's it going, everybody? We got jackhammering going on here, and please excuse the noise here. They're working on the Michigan Avenue Bridge. Here we are right in front of the Wrigley Building, the Tribune Tower. We're crossing Wacker Drive. We'll show these men at work here. It's really noisy here, so we'll try to get beyond the noise here. Christy, thanks for tuning in here. I restarted my live here because I started walking down Michigan Avenue on this beautiful 66-degree weather day here in February. We got February 27, 2024. We've had a 2-day stretch of amazingly warm weather here. It got to 71 degrees yesterday. We're heading down to the Chicago Riverwalk here, and there's the Lucia tour boat launching there for a lunchtime excursion there. May, thanks for tuning in. Angel, yeah, I saw you were on, Angel, before. Sorry to everybody that was on the live immediately before this. I restarted the live because you know, my continual battle to keep the camera straight there. I flipped the camera sideways and I couldn't get it back, so I just started a new live here. And here, if you just joined, we're in Chicago. We're down here by the Riverwalk. Lucia just launched there for a lunchtime cruise here. Again, we have upper 60s. It's shorts weather here along the Riverwalk for a late February lunchtime walk here, and we'll just cruise down the Riverwalk. My plan is to head barely into the West Loop there. We'll go over towards the Haymarket Monument. There's a monument to a labor dispute that happened way back in 1886. Several people died, and we'll talk about it when we get over there, but we're going to enjoy this weather here. Hey, Betty, Natalie, Greg, Sharon, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody else. Diane and Christy, thanks for coming back. And Angel, May, thanks for being on. And yeah, I restarted this live because I accidentally flipped the screen sideways and had to start over here. So thanks for coming back here. We'll do our typical lunchtime cruise here. See, you know, people, you know, if I go dark there, usually I come back and we'll catch some of the beautiful sights here along the Chicago River. There's the Jewelers Building, all the skyscrapers there. I wonder if they're going to get O'Brien's going before St. Patrick's Day, which depends on the weather. Hey, people jogging with the dogs, and I'm hoping to see a good crowd of people down here on the Riverwalk here at lunchtime, enjoying this beautiful 66-degree weather. We're not as warm as yesterday. Yesterday we got up to 71. We broke the record, and we'll go under Wabash Avenue, the Marina Towers, and there's a view back to the Wrigley Building, the Tribune, Michigan Avenue Bridge, where we started here. It's much quieter here, isn't it? It was so loud with the jackhammer going on, but I wanted to get that scene of the city there. Men at work there on the DuSable Michigan Avenue Bridge. And Diane, thanks for tuning in there. Oh, let's see, Mylene, there you go. And spring, yeah, it feels like spring, even though it's into February. We got a feeling we're going to pay for this later in the spring when we'll get to March and April, and we'll look back to these late February days and say, remember when it was February and it was warm, and now it's April and it's cold. But we'll see how it goes here. And yeah, the Chicago Brew House, the Jewelers Building, and it's like the pavement and the asphalt. It was like this. I think it maybe has something to do with the dew point. Yeah, look, people sitting here. Here's the Vietnam War Memorial here. People are sitting along the grass here. Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil was right. We got Early spring here. Yeah. So the bridge, yeah, I think you're referring to, I saw your comment there, Betty. I think you're referring to, yeah, people are fishing here. See, people are fishing here along the, what a great spot here to cast a line here. How's it going? How you doing? And you're probably referring to the Dave Matthews bus incident. We think it happened over on the, let me make sure I get it right here, the Kinsey Street Bridge. I remember last spring, our good friend came and met us down here, and we were talking about it on my original TikTok account. And George came down for us 2 days in a row. He lives on Michigan Avenue, and we filmed the sailboats coming into the harbor. And we talked about the Dave Matthews incident. We didn't know if it was the LaSalle Street Bridge or the Kinsey Street Bridge. I think it's the Kinsey Street Bridge. For those who don't know, in the early 2000s, Dave Matthews was here in Chicago with his tour bus, and for some reason, the tour bus driver he was late or didn't want to take the time to go to a station to unload the waste from the bus. And so his bright idea, you see how these bridges, a lot of them like that one, you can, it's a metal grate where, you know, he thought he could drive the bus over the bridge and just release the contents, and it would go into the river, you know, which is kind of nasty. You know, you just dump your waste contents of your tour bus into the river. Unfortunately for him and Dave Matthews, there was an architectural cruise boat underneath the Kinsey Street Bridge right when he did it. He didn't even check to see if there was a boat going underneath, and it just shows you the mentality of the bus driver, and emptied the waste contents of the Dave Matthews tour bus on a poor, unsuspecting group of tourists on an architectural cruise. And it was, of course, led to a big, horrible scandal in the press, damaged Dave Matthews' band, which actually Dave Matthews himself didn't do it. It was his bus driver. But since he hired the guy and the guy did it, you know, and so it led to an infamous Dave Matthews not being allowed to play concerts in Chicago for a long time. But eventually he played Bound by Indiana, and now Dave Matthews is welcome back in Chicago, because you see how the underneath here, you see how you can see the shadows of the cars going underneath. This is the Dearborn Street Bridge. You see how, look at that, you see how you can look right up to the cars going by, and you see how you could, if you throw anything out, it would go down into the river. And that's what you're referring to there, Betty. So thanks for tuning in. Yeah, the buildings to the right. Oh yeah. So let me show you. I didn't see that comment there. Here's the Marina Towers. Of course, if I would have just looked down and saw your comment, I would have saved some time here. Here we'll give you a view of the Marina Towers here. And then you see that there's the actual marina. There's the Bertrand Goldberg design Marina Towers here, and then the parking garage, and then you got the Smith & Lewinsky, and you can rent the hot tub boat there and all that stuff. But we'll head further down the Riverwalk and head towards the West Loop here. Yeah. So there you go. There's the Dave Matthews incident in Chicago. Infamous. I hope everybody's out enjoying this beautiful. Look at the stuff that ends up in the river. There is a nice boat that cleans the river, that skims the river for garbage. We point it out every once in a while, and people having their lunch out here. This is exactly how the Riverwalk was intended. You could come out here and sit and have your lunch here if you work in these gleaming corporate office towers. Enjoy the beautiful weather. There's the Quaker Oats building, the Westin Hotel, and there's a side view of the Marina Towers. There's the Britannica Whirlpool building. That's another interesting building that fronts the Riverwalk. We'll go under the Clark Street Bridge here, and you see how you can take the stairs to get up here. There's the R. Donnelly 111 Whacker. There's the Thompson building. You see the Thompson building there? It's got these industrial warehouses that had the clock towers back from the days when, you know, show the workers when to get to work on time there. Yeah, Denise, how you doing there? Yeah, thanks for liking the live there and getting people to like the live. People walking their dogs here, checking out the Riverwalk on a beautiful, warm February 27th day here. 67 degrees at least. And we'll see if we get to 70. I don't know. I don't think we're going to break the record today. The record is 75 degrees. My phone says we're not going to get to 70. We're just going to be in the upper 60s. Look at that. Botanica building. This is where the Eastland disaster was. You can look it up. It's a horrible maritime disaster where over 800 people lost their lives in 1915. It rivaled the Titanic, and a boat capsized right here. People were trapped in the Hull, H-U-L-L, Eastland disaster. But look at the people sitting on the stairs here, steps on the Chicago Riverwalk here. What time we got? 12:13 in the p.m. We'll head over towards the West Loop. I want to check out, there's a monument to the Haymarket. We'll get over there and talk about it, and then we'll head back through the loop. Yeah, nice weather. Good. I'm glad you're having nice weather too, Denise, where you're tuning in from. Yeah, we got spectacular weather. This is about the best weather you can possibly ask for February in Chicago. Everybody's jogging in shorts, walking in short sleeves. The geese are enjoying it. Let's see if we see any more. We saw an architectural cruise leave Lucia. We'll go over here to the confluence and see if we see any more river boats. But yeah, so you can see how the grates there, you can look right through the bridge. They don't concrete the decks over. They do it on certain bridges. See how you see the shadows from the cars crossing there. We're going underneath LaSalle Street Bridge. We'll head over to Wells. Wells is a double-deck bridge because it has the CTL trains. There's the Merchandise Mart. We go by here all the time. So eventually they'll, in the summer and fall, they have all the boats that you could rent lined up here. Some of them are pedal power, your Sweet Home Gelato. Here you can rent the boats and go to this floating dock. There's the Chicago Cut Steakhouse, another good steak place there. This office building. There's the Salesforce Tower, Wolf Point, and Merchandise Mart. Hopefully they'll be opening up that Esplanade pretty soon. You can sit out on tables there and enjoy the south-facing side of the Merchandise Mart. People walking dogs here. Man. So if you just joined, we're in Chicago, we're on the Riverwalk. I'm going to head to the West Loop to check out this Haymarket Monument. It's a monument to workers' rights. 8-hour workday. Several people lost their lives, including police officers and people striking for an 8-hour workday, and led to the infamous Haymarket affair in 1886. Still celebrated to this day as May Day throughout the world, and the United States celebrates it in a alternative fashion on Labor Day because it's became associated with the socialist worker rights movement, and of course we can't have that in America. So look at the nice floating, look at the garbage down there, but there's the floating planet beds here. They float on the river, kind of aquaculture. Look at the amount of people here walking along the Riverwalk here, enjoying this beautiful weather. This is exactly what I wanted to see here. Thanks for tuning in here, and look at you can see the whole large 2-block long merchandise mart. When this was built, this was the largest building in the world square footage wise, and built in 1930 by Marshall Field and several other business leaders of that time. And they had to sell it during the Great Depression. The Kennedy family bought it. The Kennedy family owned the merchandise mart for several decades. They used to cruise their yacht up and down the Chicago River, and then they sold it. And you see how they project artwork on there. It's called Art on the Mart. We've got videos on YouTube and TikTok where we show the Art on the Mart there. And we'll come back and probably do it this summer once they start it back up, or spring. And we'll head under the Franklin Street Bridge here, which becomes Orleans. And I don't know why the L track, usually we get the L train going across here, but no L train today. We'll get it on the way back here. Yeah, it'll be winter again tomorrow. It's supposed to get colder again tomorrow. It's supposed to get down to 20 degrees, 30s and 20s. You know, by the time I walk into work tomorrow, I'll have to be wearing my winter coat and hat again. Look at that. Look at, maybe we should check that out. Look at the beautiful, maybe we'll hit that on the way back there. I think that's, there goes the pink line. The pink line's heading across the Lake Street Bridge there. So, yeah, scenes of the city here. See, there's the Wolf Point. So, isn't it nice they got that open? Let me zoom in here a little bit here. So look there. There's on the north side of the Chicago River, they added some seating over there. It terraces down. There's some housing right here. And if I zoom out all the way here, there we go. We can look up and see the new Wolf Point. That's housing on the right, offices on the left, the Salesforce Towers on the left. That's housing. People film their TikToks from that. I've seen many people film TikToks from wolfpointwpe.com there on the left there, and people have waved to me from the balcony up there that we're watching that tune in here, where this is the confluence of the north and south branches of the Chicago River. There's the Calatrava statue there and the Tuning Fork building. We'll go right by it as we go across Lake Street. We've been by here several times. We checked out this artwork. They updated it. But hey, look at everybody sitting out over there on the north side, Wolf Point confluence. Yeah, sitting in the sun. Maybe they'll put these they had some lake chairs out here. I guess they took them away for the winter. Hopefully they'll bring them back here. Yeah, May, Denise, Tanya, how you doing there? Oh, I'm so sorry, sorry to hear your uncle passed away. Sorry for your loss there, Tanya. I just saw that. Sorry to hear that. Everybody, please extend your condolences to Tanya there. And I'm so sorry for your uncle there. But Amber, happy Tuesday. And Chris, I just saw you tuned in. Thanks for tuning in here. We're going to head over and check out the Haymarket Monument. I started my live, everything was going fine, and then dummy me, I tried to get the camera straight and I turned it sideways, and so I had to start over, but everybody came back in, so thanks for dealing with the early technical difficulties, people. And then when I restarted my live, we were right near a jackhammer, so people will be confused because you can't even hear me talk at the beginning because they were jackhammering on the DuSable Michigan Avenue Bridge, and it was probably not the best start to a video, but we'll keep going with it. What time we got here? 12:21. We'll head up across Lake Street here, and it was so good to see so many people out on this beautiful weather day enjoying the Riverwalk. Yeah, it's more people coming down here. Look at that bell up there. People in shorts and exposed skin. Yeah, we'll head across Lake Street. See, running in shorts. Isn't this nice? That's the good thing about Chicagoans. When we do get a nice, mild stretch of weather in the wintertime, we take advantage of it because it's like a mini vacation. It's a good day to play hooky today. And that's what we're doing on the lunchtime here. Yeah, thanks everybody for extending your condolences to Tanya. She lost her uncle. Thanks for sharing it. We all help each other out here on the Lunch Bunch and support each other, and that's why we do this. So it's nice that we all, this connected community we got here, extended community, people that tune in to watch this content. Look at there's the South Branch of Chicago River. That's the direction it flows. There's the North Branch. Look at that bridge in the upright position. And that's back where we came from, the main channel there. There's that Calatrava red statue there. And so we'll just continue straight down. Instead of, a lot of times we go up that way and there's spectacular views. But for the sake of time here, we'll head straight west along Lake Street under the L tracks here, and we'll go over to the Des Plaines and we'll try to find this Haymarket monument and film it in landscape here. You see how they converted a lot of the warehouses to housing in this area. We're technically, you know, to me the West Loop doesn't really start until you cross the trough of the highway there, but technically this is west of the river, so the near west side, whatever you want to call this, the West Loop. See how the metro train is pulling into Ogilvie Station. This is the head house for Ogilvie Station, and you see the metro train pulling in there underneath the L tracks. So we got the L tracks above. See how the engine, the metro train is pushing from behind. It's pushing the train, backing it into the station there. And we went into Ogilvie Station many times. Jay, city walking girl, she goes into Ogilvie, and sometimes it's hard coming from the corporate side because it's corporate space, but we'll wait for the light here. See, there's the whole Ogilvie. The City Corp building used to be there. They changed the name of it. There, we got the light here, so we'll cross over. We'll get some cigars. Look at that tall smokestack there. And look how much housing they've added over here just west of the river in this tall building, which is the back side of that Riverside Plaza, whatever they call this. Hey, walking the dog. This is Milwaukee. But it starts and stops here. This is like a small little weird section of Milwaukee that doesn't connect with the rest of it. We're at Canal and Lake here, and look how high the L tracks are because they go up higher to cross over the metro tracks. And so we'll head right down into here. And I'll go quiet here because there's some tents here. So thanks for tuning in to Chicago here. So here's the New Line Tavern. There you hear the L train going above us. Just crossed under the metro tracks here. We're by the is this Clinton? This is the Clinton station on the Green Line. It's named after DeWitt Clinton, not Bill Clinton. DeWitt Clinton goes back to the early 1800s in New York State. I think he was a governor of the state of New York in the early 1800s. DeWitt Clinton was instrumental in the Erie Canal. He moved away from Chicago in the 1990s. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, many people grew up in Chicago, moved away. They tune in to see what's happening, what's changed, what hasn't changed. And we're underneath the Clinton station on the green and pink lines here. And we're west of the river here of the Loop. And we're going to head over to Randolph and Des Plaines to film. There's a Haymarket monument commemorating the 1886 Haymarket affair. You can look it up there. We're almost at Jefferson. It's a unique perspective here. Look how tall the the station is. It's really tall, and the reason it's tall is it goes over top of the metro tracks there. And thanks everybody for sending condolences to Tanya. That's great. And yeah, I understand people are free to move about the country. And same as me. I didn't grow up in Chicago. I moved here 25 years ago, but I lived here over half my life, so I know how important it is. People, are you a native Chicagoan? No. But I'm glad that people are proud to be from this city, even if you don't live in it anymore. And see some of the new housing they built. That's across the Kennedy. That's actually in the real West Loop. It's a Jimmy John's here. What else we got here? Hey, they're working on the, look how they're working underneath the L there. They got some electric, they're working on some of the power lines underneath there. So we'll go, that's the Plains, that's right where we need to cross there. So here, we'll get a good view of the L train coming by here. There, scenes of the city. And there, another reason I saw a McLaren car yesterday, and I didn't realize there was a McLaren dealership. Here comes the train coming the other way. It's hard to see because it's so high. You can see the reflection of the windows there. So, this Plains and Lake here in Chicago. We're in the West Loop. We'll, yeah, let's get across the street here real quick when we got a chance here. So, the green line goes all the way west to Garfield Park, all the way to Austin neighborhood and Oak Park, if you take it. Here's something that we lost, and this was a real true Chicago hot dog stand here. Voted #1 for a good reason here. The Fast Track, even though it was voted #1, it's closed. The Fast Track right here on this Plains and Lake didn't survive the pandemic, and it actually made it until last summer, I think last spring. And there was another, you know, I know a guy that worked at a local engineering firm, and he went there on the last day it was open. Look at this nice Chicago Bulls mural here. See red here, right here next to the Fast Track, which is closed. Nothing lasts. But here we're almost near the Haymarket Monument here. So, you know, you can look this up online. In 1886, you know, it was building for a long time. You know, Chicago rapidly expanded after the Civil War and after the Great Chicago Fire. The industrialization of northern cities, driven by the railroads and mass production and steel and factories shipping out on the rail and economies of scale. And so a lot of immigrant labor, mainly from Europe, flooded to cities like Chicago, and there was a burgeoning labor rights movement where, you know, people used to work 12-hour days, 7 days a week or 6 days a week, would only get Sundays off, and there was a labor rights movement in the 1880s. It wasn't just in Chicago, it was in New York and Detroit and other rapidly industrializing cities at that time. And it culminated in Chicago in 1886. The McCormick Reaper Company, people were trying to organize, unionize, and fight for an 8-hour workday because the profits of the McCormick Reaper company were amazing, and they were more fighting for an 8-hour workday than actual, you know, pay increases and against child labor and stuff like that. So it built and built and built, and there were a lot of speakers, and there was an incident that preceded this where Chicago police officers fired upon the crowd, and some rioters or people marching for workers' rights were killed. And so the crowd was pretty angered and armed because they didn't trust the police, and the police supported the power of the business owners at that time. And so I think it started May 1st. It went to May 4th, 1886. it went into the night. There was a group of thousands of people were gathered here at Des Plaines and Randolph here in Chicago, and there was a speaker. After the speaker was done, the police tried to disperse the crowd. Still to this day, they don't know who did it. Somebody threw a homemade bomb towards the police officers, and it exploded and killed some police officers. So the police fired back on the crowd. The crowd returned fire. This is the Haymarket incident in 1886 in Chicago. And ultimately, several police officers and several people marching for workers' rights were killed. And then, of course, the sentiment in the city shifted against, because they were considered anarchists, the people that organized the workers' rights movement, and the sentiment shifted against them, and so they rounded up a bunch of anarchists. It led to the Haymarket trial. 4 members were hanged. Members like Oglesby, we saw the Oglesby statue in Lincoln Park, and Altgeld was the governor of Illinois at the time. They were involved in it. Carter Harrison, the mayor of Chicago at that time, was involved. He just missed being at the incident. He left before the bomb exploded, and he was later assassinated after Carter Harrison was assassinated after the World's Fair in 1893. So it shows you how violent this period was. You know, we think we lived through a violent period. This was a much more violent period for people fighting for workmen's rights. There was the Pullman strike in the 1890s where people died fighting for 8-hour workday and equal pay. See right here, it says, on the evening of May 4th, 1986, a tragedy of international significance and found on this site, the Chicago's Haymarket Produce District, and how we go down Randolph Street, and Randolph Street's really wide, and that's why they got this monument. Look at all the trade unions. All the trade unions put their Chicago Federation of Labor, and some of these are international. They put their plaques on this because this led to this day, in communist countries, in socialist countries, May 1st is celebrated as May Day because it goes back to the Haymarket. Here, the 131st anniversary, here's the 8 members that were rounded up. They were considered anarchists. They were mostly German immigrants that were rounded up, and one of them committed suicide in the jail. 4 of them were hanged. 2 of them were commuted. Their sentences were commuted. And to this day, they think that the people they hung did not do it, and they just did it to placate the populace that they rounded up and held somebody responsible for killing the police officers. But your dad and grandmother from Chicago, that's good. Yeah, driving with the windows down. Yeah, 40-hour work week, 8-hour work day, overtime. Look at all that, Chris. Yeah, look at all that. And that's why Chris and I talk about, look at all the progressives. Look at all the things that we take for granted today that people fought and risked their lives and died for, and we shouldn't just give up our rights, and it's hard because people want to change the narrative, and that's why I want to show that monument so we can talk about history and how it relates to this city, and how that the Haymarket incident is probably more well known outside of America than here. Why is that? They don't want us to remember it happened here. Here's the McLaren Chicago. Here's this McLaren dealership. I saw a McLaren driving through Lakeshore East. Here's the wide Randolph Street. We got 12:36 in the PM here in Chicago. Look right here, Randolph Market. See how it says Randolph Market in the median here, and we'll cross the street here and check out this McLaren. McLaren's a British automaker. I guess McLaren used to race Formula One along. Their main competitor was Ferrari. Ferrari and McLaren always vie for having the most Formula One wins. Is there a Rivian in there? But look at this yellow. Here's the McLaren dealership here in Chicago. It's hard to see through the windows. Maybe we'll see it better going the other way. And so there is a McLaren dealership. Look, there's an electric one. There, maybe you can see a little better here. By appointment only here in McLaren dealership in Chicago. So we always point out the Lamborghini and the Ferraris. I have to give equal opportunity to show the McLarens here. And it's nice. There's a Porsche dealership in the West Loop here too that I've shown before. Hey, thanks for tuning in here. So which way should we go? Let's walk straight through the loop here. Let's go back around here. Let's go down a little bit here. I don't want to walk back under the metro tracks. We'll go over to Madison and we'll head straight into the loop here, and we'll cut through the loop on our way back and see how many people are out and about on this beautiful day. We got some wind here. We're heading down Des Plaines. And look at that. There's a CTA building right there. Look at this housing. But there should be really good views to the new housing, that they built there. Well, the Sky Bridge has been there for 20 years, and that building's more new. There's across the Kennedy here. Here's this Divvy bike station. But if we look back the other way, there's the West Loop of Chicago across the trough of the southernmost end of the Kennedy Expressway. There's some of the new housing they built over towards the Fulton Market District. We go over there. Christopher, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Pick one up while you're there. Yeah, I'll pick up a McLaren. That's a good idea. Yeah, why not? I need a car, right? I've lived 25 years without a car. So here we're at Des Plaines in Washington. There you can see some of the West Loop skyline here. We'll cross the street here. Washington Square. We just checked out the Haymarket Monument there. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll cross Des Plaines here. Gotta make sure. Hey, we'll cross the street. There's a nice little plaza here. They got these rocks. We've shown these before. This is like a government building, and they got a plaza here with some landscaped rocks and stuff. It's kind of neat. Banyan Tengoku restaurant. What else we got here? Look at this plaza. Let's check out this plaza. See, I don't get over this way too much. It's kind of a... See, there's a Hampton Inn Homewood Suites. I didn't remember that being there. Every time I come here, I see something new. This is... I think they call this yet another Harold Washington Center. It's a government center. So it's the Social Security Administration. That's what it is. There's the Social Security Administration building in Chicago. It's right here. And they got this plaza with the landscaping, the rocks. Look at that building. I wonder, why did they close up the storefront there? But they got all the numbers there. There's all our Social Security numbers there on the glass there. Look at that. Is that what that represents? Social Security Administration. There you go. If you're looking for it, here's where it's at. They got the security there. They got this nice plaza here. There's everybody waiting for their Social Security numbers. Or their checks or something to get straightened out there. It's like the Ministry of Truth here. You don't have to worry about falling ice today. At 60, we're upper 60s here weather-wise, Fahrenheit. So here we'll cross the street here at Jefferson in Washington, and we'll head down. We'll get a good view of the presidential towers there. There's 4 presidential towers. They call them that because all the streets in this area are like Washington, Monroe, Adams, Jefferson. You know, they got a nice plaza right here. People sitting outside enjoying the plaza here. But it's pretty sparse over here. There's never a lot of people in this area of the West Loop. You go by the presidential towers. I think the Porsche dealership's close to here, but I don't know. I think it's a block south. Yeah, some are good and some are bad. You know, like, remember how I always talk about how I judge the value of a public space about how well it's used. So Millennium Park, Maggie Daley Park are well used. These ones are not as well used. Even on here we got a beautiful, fantastic weather day in February, and there's nobody in them because Social Security Administration. There's that giant bat sculpture. We filmed that before. So you see where we're at. We're way over west of the river here. And here's the presidential towers. They built these in the 80s. There's 4 towers, all exactly similar. And you best can see these from the highway when you go drive through the downtown there in that trough there. And we'll make a left. We'll go right by the former City Court building. There's that VAT building. There's that building is a residential tower they built across the highway there. So now we're on, I think this is Madison. Daryl from Burbank, Illinois. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago on a beautiful weather day. We checked out the Haymarket Monument. If you missed it, you can check it out during the reruns. Look at this building. Look how the structure of the building's exposed there. It's postmodern architectural style. Of course, the City Court building, formerly City Court building, now it's something else. I think it's called a Legion or something. I'll get you the name of it when we go by there. And that's how you get into Ogilvie train station. But the last time I tried to film in there, I'm so conspicuous with my gimbal and my sideways camera that the security stopped me from filming. Even though it's public access, you got to go through the corporate space to get to the train station. And I learned that technically they can close off that entrance if they want to. Isn't that amazing? You have to enter from the side. This is an AT&T switching tower. So they used to be in the old days where they had a bunch of old-fashioned switches. Most downtowns would have a large building without windows like this, and it was the switching tower for AT&T, and all the telecommunications would go through this building. And now they use it as a network operations center. They probably have a bunch of server farms and all your cloud space, your cloud servers for your, where all our TikTok and Facebook and Google cloud services are located or on servers farms in there. Lots of electricity going through this building. Imagine the heat and the HVAC. But here we'll go by. This was designed by, it's called the Accenture Tower, 500 West Madison. This was designed by Hellman Jan. I could probably take a peek in there, but we filmed it. You can get to Ogilvie train station going that way. Here's Madison Street. You see all the taxis line up here because it's a major commuter rail station for Metro there. And then you can easily just cross the street and you can connect to Union Station right there. And so we'll cross, what is this? Yeah, Madison Street. Yeah, let's cross Madison. I'll show you this entrance to Union Station. So, see, there's, we've walked through there, that sky bridge there. And here's Ogilvie Station through the Accenture Tower. And then you can get to Union Station. Union Station itself is down that way. It's like 2 blocks that way. But you can get to the platforms by going through there. There's the back of the Opera House. That's the Riverside Plaza. We'll cross the street here. This is Canal Street. You see how they got Canal Street closed down there by Union Station. They're working on the street here. So welcome to Chicago, welcome to Madison Avenue. Look at the beautiful Art Deco detailing of the Riverside Plaza there. The gold door and look at that beautiful Art Deco concrete. See how you can get to Union Station here, Madison Street entrance. You can go down the stairs here and connect right with the platforms. So there's no trains on this platform. I'm just going to show you what it looks like down here. Hopefully my connection will hold out here. So you see how there's train platforms down here. Here comes a train pull. Here comes a Metro track just pushed in. That might have came from Wisconsin. And here comes the Metro train pulling out here. We're at Union Station here. We walk down the stairs here. And you see how busy the station is. So am I still got my connection? Maybe I lost my connection down here. So let me get out of here. I might have lost my connection. But anytime you get down here in the concrete, it's no guarantee. So I think I lost everybody when I went down to the train platforms there, but we saw a Amtrak train pull in, and then we saw a Metro train pulling out. And unfortunately, I think I lost my connection when I went down there, so we'll head back out here. Thanks for staying on through the... Anytime I get down in all that concrete, it's just hard to maintain the live stream. But I think we're back to 3,800 kilobits per second, so we'll cross the river. We got 1248 here. We'll head right into the loop, and we'll cross back into the city here. Yeah, we lost. Yeah, thanks for staying on there. I went down into the... I attempted to go down, and I went down into the platform level, and that's where I lost my connection. We saw an Amtrak train pull back into the station, and we saw a Metro train pulling out, but you couldn't see it because I lost my connection. So now we're back outside. Here's the south branch of the Chicago River. There's the Civic Opera building, the back side of it. There's looking up to Salesforce Tower. There's Riverside Plaza, and we're heading across. There's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. See how it goes straight down to the river. There's no Riverwalk there. And the Merc Futures Market. And that's okay. Thanks Crystal Blue Funk for just listening. That's fine. Chris does the same thing, so you can use this as a radio station. And thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Here we're going by the Civic Opera House, and we'll probably head up under the Civic Opera House. We'll catch this light, and we'll walk up to Washington Street at least. We'll angle up towards Daly Plaza. We'll walk through the loop. So 10 South Wacker and Madison. There's the Civic Opera House. Look at that! Look at that beautiful detail there. We'll go under the colonnade here. We've done this before. We'll check out some of the gleaming towers here along Wacker Drive. Wacker and Madison. We got 12 seconds to get across here. The Lyric Opera of Chicago. Yeah, we'll walk under this beautiful colonnade, the beautiful detailed entrances of the Lyric Opera House here in Chicago. And they financed it by putting offices. It's a mixed-use building, just like the auditorium building for Roosevelt University is. To finance the auditorium and the Opera House, they added 30 floors of office combined with the theater to make it financially viable. And it's still used today that way. The Civic Opera building here in Chicago. If you ever seen Citizen Kane, the movie, Orson Welles, they use this briefly in that movie. The actual building, they show a rendering of it. And 20 North Wacker Drive. You get to the office towers there. And temperatures upper 60s. We're like 66 to 68 degrees. It feels like 70. People are jogging in shorts. It's amazingly warm. We broke the record yesterday. We got to 71 degrees yesterday officially at the airports, I think. I don't think we're going to get as warm today. We're going to start cooling down overnight. We're going to be back in the 30s and 20s tomorrow, so it'll be back to winter tomorrow. So if you're in Chicagoland, make sure you get out, roll the windows down, enjoy the day. But by the weekend, it might warm back up again, so we're hoping for that. There, we'll cross over into, we'll cross Wacker Drive. So there's the Sears Tower, looking south on Wacker Drive here. And there's looking north on Wacker Drive. See how wide it is? You got these planted medians here where we're at. And it's, it's room for the ramps. Further down, there's ramps that you can get to the lower levels of Wacker Drive. So we'll get a nice view of the Lyric Opera of Chicago here, the Civic Opera House. Look how tall it is. Actually, I think it's 40 stories tall. Look at that classic Art Deco style building here in Chicago, built in the late 20s. And there's the Mercantile Exchange. So hey, we got the light. Okay, let's cross over here. We'll cross Washington Street in the loop of Chicago. So there's some of the, they call it the link. The links, it's a bus that'll take you to the commuter rail stations here. Orange juice gives you acid reflux. Yeah, Kevin. You talking about O.J. Simpson? Look at all the balconies they added. See, that used to be office space, and they converted that to housing. So more people than ever live in the loop of Chicago because they converted so much to housing. Here's an empty lot here. We're over here on Franklin and Washington. There's the Noff Noff Grill. Get some falafels and fries. Look at the detail. Look at the detail on this building here. I got to zoom in here. Look at that beautiful detail. It's almost like Louis Sullivan type ornamentation. I got to look into this building. 301 Franklin Street. I think there's a good view to the Sears Tower this way. So here we'll head up. Yeah, let's cross over this way. I want to get the detail. Look, Chris. I know you might not be able to watch now, but if you can watch in the rerun, when I'm at the 301 Franklin building, look at that detail. That looks like Louis Sullivan to me, but I don't think it is. I think this building, they're just mimicking his style. And look at that ornamentation. They have it at the top. I'll look in to see who the architect of this building was and why it's got this ornamentation here, but we'll cross Franklin Street here. And then if you look south, there's a view to the AT&T building and the top of the Sears Tower. '70s on the north side. Wow, hey, I guess we are getting to the 70s. So the record for today is 75 degrees. We broke the record yesterday because for some reason the record for February 26th was only 64 degrees, but it's 75 today, and it's going to be really hard for us to break that, but it's possible. So we'll see what happens here. Look at the ornamentation on these buildings here. It's the loop of Chicago on Washington Street between Franklin, and we'll go under Wells Street here where the L loops around here. 215 West Washington Street. See, luxury apartment residences right here in the loop. They converted these older office buildings to housing, added these balconies. They added all these balconies. We'll head under Wabash here. See, there's the Washington and Wells train stop here. Hey, we got the light here. Look how dark it is under the station there. Washington and Wells stop here on the loop. Yeah, I gotta film this beautiful facade here. Let me get aligned with the building here. And there we go. Hannah's Bretzel, Banga Gurus. What is this? 180 West Washington. Look at this beautiful building. Look at that facade. Look at the top. Look at the top of it with that arched cornice, symmetrical. It's got the twirly columns there. Look at that. And then look at this building with the crazy balconies with the fleur-de-lis on it. It's got the crest on it. And that's almost like neo-colonial, but look at these buildings. I never noticed these buildings. See, that's why filming this gets me to notice these things. The I Am Temple. We're here on Washington Street here. See, there's a bike path. we'll head over LaSalle Street. We'll get a good view of the Board of Trade here. And the roads have been slick all day. Even though I don't even know if it rained last night, all day, because it's probably so warm, the streets and sidewalks are like oozing with wetness. And it did not rain. We had clear skies, and maybe it's like humid, or because the moisture from the ground, since it's wintertime, is like seeping up through the pavement. I don't know why. Everything's like slick today. Greasy film, like the oil on the sidewalk. But look at this great view to the Board of Trade. This is LaSalle Street, historically the financial heart of Chicago. That's looking south to the Board of Trade. That canyon, that skyscraper canyon on LaSalle Street. Hey, Summit, how's it going? Richard, how you doing there? Yeah, the mix of the old and new. That's what cities are, you know. We got different periods of development. Here's City Hall, the columns of City Hall, the City County building. We'll go right through Daily Plaza, and hopefully my connection will stay on there. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Summit 555, Kevin's on. Kevin's got acid reflux with the orange juice. Look at that scene. You can look over to the top of the Smurfit Stone, the Prudential building, the Aon. Just the amazing density of the loop here, and that's block 37 tower that they added. We'll go by the Picasso at Daily Plaza and look at the columns of the City Hall here, Cook County building, City Hall. Got my connection here. Here's the Burnham Center. There was a food court in there. I don't know if they still got a food court in the Burnham Center. I'll look into that. Even if I go down there, I'll probably lose my connection. Yeah, we'll head. There's a few people in Daily Plaza. The warm weather brings people out in Daily Plaza. And here we'll head over to, here we'll cross the street here. There's a nice view looking down Washington Street here. Loop of Chicago, Washington, and Clark. There's the Daily Center. See that? It looks rusty, that brown. It's by design. There's certain type of steel that is supposed to oxidize and rust. We saw that building in the Streeterville that had the same thing, and it's supposed to protect the steel. Here's the First United Methodist Church. They have a chapel at the top, and then we've gone into the chapel at the bottom, and then they have 20 levels of commercial space. They built this in 1924 to maximize their location. The church built a big misuse building. And here we'll head into Daily Plaza. We've done this several times. We're just heading back to the loop. And Channel 2 News there's in the background on the Jumbotron there. See how you can go down into the pedway. And there's a few benches out here. The austere, stark Daily Plaza, but some few people are sitting on the benches here. They turn these fountains on usually by St. Patrick's Day. They'll dye them green, but they don't have them on now. There's the, see, look, another Chicago shooting. I know that's why people always in the comments, they rightly talk about the unfortunate violence that's a constant backdrop to this city and other cities. Not just here, New York has it, other cities have it too. Here's the Picasso. Look at the Picasso. And you could actually get on top of that, slide down it. People slide down the rare Pablo Picasso sculpture. Pablo Picasso never came to Chicago. Richard J. Daley commissioned him to do it and unveiled it, and the public had mixed reviews. They never, but it's kind of grown on people. But a rare Pablo Picasso sculpture right here in the loop of Chicago. And here we'll go by the Eternal Frame. Oh, there was a horrible FedEx crash, man. Chaos in the world all around. Here's the Eternal Flame to commemorate the armed services, all branches of the armed services here. The Eternal Flame and Daily Plaza there. And we'll head up to Randolph Street, go past the Theater District. We do this all the time, but I just do it. Look at this. So this is a ComEd building. This is one of the few things that survived Block 37. It's like a substation. And look at the nice little power detail they got there, the Art Deco styling of that power substation there in the loop of Chicago. Yeah, the Blues Brothers. You're right. They drove the Bluesmobiles right in front of the city hall there. They barricade themselves inside the city hall, and the whole Chicago police force and the National Guard surround the building, and they went up to the whatever floor they had to go to, the assessor's office, to pay their nun's tax bill, so the orphanage that they grew up in with the nun, the Penguin, wouldn't get repossessed or sold. And so Steven Spielberg has a rare cameo. That's actually Steven Spielberg. That's the tax assessor that he says he'll be back in 5 minutes in the Blues Brothers. That's a rare, obscure factoid. There's the Nederlander. Here we'll cross Randolph Street. This is the theater district here in Chicago. We go through here a lot. See the Goodman Theater? There used to be 2 theaters up there. They preserved the facades. This is the general location where, well, actually, the Thompson Center is where the Garrick Theater used to be. You see the Palace Theaters down there. The Garrick Theater you can see on the Second City. We talk about that. Here's Block 37. And this is housing. They built housing on top of Block 37. There's a 4-story mall there. We walk through that. And that's sat vacant for years. Here's a rare Italianate probably built from the 1870s after the Great Chicago Fire. And this is what some of the buildings looked like in the Loop before the Great Chicago Fire that were destroyed. And here we'll cross the bike path here. We'll head right down Randolph Street. This used to be a McDonald's, but there's the Goodman Theater. The L that's looking north on Dearborn. We'll go straight down Randolph. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's your name?
Ian.
Ian, nice to meet you.
I'm following you, giving you likes.
That's good. Thank you. Thanks, Ian. Thanks for watching. That's great. Keep it up. I appreciate it. That's awesome. See, Ian said hello there. That's great. See, people hear my voice and people just walking through the Loop. Appreciate it. That's great. See, here's Zenzani Cambria Hotels here. Look at this. Broadway in Chicago. Look at this detailing. They got the little ornamentation here. This is the Nederlander. Used to be the Oriental Theater. There's Garrett's Popcorn. They got Mrs. Doubtfire, the musical right here. I think it's only for a month. I can smell the Garrett's Popcorn. And yeah, you come see Mrs. Doubtfire here at the Nederlander, Broadway in Chicago. I learned more about this Blick. So, you know, I always call this the cuckoo clock building because they did have cuckoo clocks that are like a little guy that used to come out there, because after the Century of Progress, the 1933 World's Fair, they had like a German, it was right after the repeal of Prohibition, so this was a beer garden they built in the Loop after the Century of Progress there, the 1933 World's Fair. And you know the Italian Village, that's a remnant of the 1933 Century of Progress as well. Here we got a street performer with the PA there. That's what we're hearing here. Yeah. Remember that song? Yeah. Here's Muddy Waters. That's awesome. Yeah, what a great song.
Bust it out. Let's go. So they know someone cares.
That's awesome. Hey, people riding scooters. So if you just joined, we're in Chicago. We're here on State Street, that great street. We got a street performer there singing We Are the World, which is great. Here's the Chicago Theater. So Fortune Finster already came through. Now The Price is Right's going to be here March the 2nd. Ilana Glazier, Country Wayne's going to be here March 22nd. Juanes, I don't know if I can't say that right. Here's the Chicago Theater. Here's the Plug Walk. Channel 7 News, we go by this all the time. There's always a truck sitting here. There's always some trucks sitting in the middle. But they're going to have The Price is Right, the Chicago Theater. March 2nd, that'll be. I don't think Drew Carey's not going to be here, but they're going to have a taping of some version of the. And so here we'll go by ESP in Chicago. They're always got their live radio. Here's the State Street L. There's the Torture Museum. Grim Evil went there. Check out Grim Evil's Instagram. He's got some good photos. Here we'll head across Lake Street here, underneath the L tracks yet again. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, lovely. Pied Piper, Chicago. Yeah, singing "We Are the World." That's a nice song there. That was after there was in the 1980s there was a horrible famine in Ethiopia, and a lot of movie stars and pop singers, including Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, all the big pop singers of the 80s, and movie stars got together and they sung that "We Are the World." And hopefully you've heard that song in some version. That's what he was singing there, the street performer. Look at the tall bike. There's the tall bike going through. You got the double tall bike. You see them a lot. See, what a good day to get to double tall bike out, ride around the city on a beautiful 70-degree weather day here in February. Here's the Witt Hotel. There's the Marina Towers. And we're heading under the Estate and Lake Station here. Here's Cesar's Tacos. They're always parked around here this time. There goes the train heading around the loop. That's a pink line. And here's the direct current power station to the L. Hey, get your tacos. $3 tacos. That's not too bad. Said leave your egos outside. Yeah, that's nice. Thanks for the good info there, Chris. Yeah. And it was for charity. You know, there was all those big mass events that happened in the 80s. Remember Hands Across America? They tried to get everybody can, and We Are the World. There's the green line heading around the loop here. And sounds of the city on a beautiful 70-degree day here, February 27th, 2024. We got the whole spring and summer ahead of us. I know it's going to get cold tomorrow, but it should warm up back for the weekend. I hope to do the Shaiditarod on Saturday, where they race around the shopping carts. People dressed up in themed groups there, and they have to race their shopping cart around the West Loop there. It's all for charity and a good cause, and the car's going to run me over here. And here comes the L, another green line heading around the bend here. Here we'll back up a little bit. We'll get out of the sun here. See it a little bit. Hopefully, if I get out of the sun here. There we go. Here's a better view of it. Get the tail end of it. So here we'll head by the Billy Goat, this parking garage. Go in the tires here. How's it going? I appreciate it. And here we'll go under the Parisian Lee sandwiches. You get your shoe repaired right here. Garland Court, 70 East Lake. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully that Haymarket spiel made sense. I need to get that spiel down next time we go by that monument to the Haymarket there. There's Broken English Taco Pub. We're gonna head back to Michigan Avenue. You guys know exactly where we're at because we always start and end our lives here. Head back to work here. We get the chicken bowl. And hey, get outside if you're in Chicago. Enjoy this beautiful weather. See people in shorts. And get by the lakefront. And yeah, Saturday we hope to do the Shaiditarod. On Sunday, they're supposed to be the Polar Plunge. Sunday's going to be the Polar Plunge. So we hope to cover that at North Avenue Beach. And we'll see how it goes here. We'll get you a view looking up Michigan Avenue here. There, look at this great view to the John Hancock, the Wrigley Bower. Yeah, Summit, Chris, Anna Marie, Sharon, Dolores. Yeah, thanks for putting up. I know I cut out there when I went down in the Metro tracks. I can't resist trying to film. It would have been great if I wouldn't have cut out, because we saw an Amtrak back into Union Station and we saw a Metro train pulling out of the station, but we get under all that concrete, it just doesn't work. But here, we'll get you a good view of the Wrigley building as we cross Michigan Avenue here, looking north on Michigan Avenue. And have a great day. Enjoy this beautiful upper 60s, low 70s late February day. 2 days in a row of spectacular weather. We'll be walking on TikTok tonight, seeing how crowded it is, going up Michigan Avenue, and we'll head up through the near north as always. And have a great day there. There's the Michigan Avenue looking south. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Munch Bunch. Have a great day. Appreciate your attention here. Yeah, it's summertime, right? Have a great day. Yeah, catch you later, Jessica. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.